the exteriors we're doing are in part by the storm damage that happened way back in March or April. Anyway, this is my main dog, Kipper. He's a real friendly fella. He's half Basset Hound and half St. Bernard. This is part of the friendly staff over at Pittsburgh Paints.
Kind of a weird sound.
We deal with Pittsburgh Paints and Sherwin-Williams quite a bit, but they're always willing to help. Both paint stores go the extra mile. I like to buy their products because the products are so good that we don't have to worry about even having the top line best products on some of the jobs we do because they're so good that 1 or 2 steps down and still do a fine job. This is one of the houses that we painted recently, and this fellow had a lot of storm damage. He had some siding repaired, and when you have siding repaired, it's really important that you have someone who can paint it and knows that the caulking is very important, the priming is very important, because those things will show through a year later if you don't take care of that. And also, a lot of newer houses are using the cement siding. It's a product that has cement mixed in with a lot of wood fiber, and it's really hardy siding, but if you don't caulk it correctly, it will rot. These are some of the interiors that we've done. As you see, Anthony's down here working hard, painting this door. A lot of the jobs we do are jobs that have real high ceilings. We have a lot of fancy woodwork like crown moldings in here. We use a sprayer. Now, a lot of painters will use a sprayer, but a lot of painters don't really know how to use a sprayer. We have a whole variety of different tips. The different tips are for different surfaces. We use some for inside of houses. When we paint ceilings, we use spray tips that will put a real nice even coat on the ceiling. Sometimes we use spray tips to paint the crown moldings. And you can see this crown molding has just been painted, but the paint is still wet. When we tape it off, sometimes we put a shield up here and spray the crown molding. It comes down onto the wall a little bit, but when we paint the wall, it's a nice smooth surface to make a real straight line on it. So it looks like a pencil straight line. We have a few other techniques. This is one of the techniques we use to get up on the ladder to paint the crown all the way around, but when we spray it, it comes out looking real nice. The paint we're using is Manor Hall paint from Pittsburgh Paints on this job, but when we paint crown moldings inside the house, we always use the top of the line paint, because even if you brush it on, the marks will heal up. It looks like it's been sprayed. Some of the paints you get at big box stores, if you paint something with those, you're going to see every brush mark in it. It looks terrible. This is the completed hallway. This house was remodeled recently, and she had an extra wall put in there. There used to be just a complete open area. She had a wall put in. They didn't finish some of the sheetrock right, so we had to take care of that. We do all the sheetrock repairs. We can replace wood trim. We do quite a few things like that. This was another kind of a non-conventional house that we painted recently. And it was Anthony with his cast on, but even with one hand, it paints really well. And this way, of course, we have the customer pick out the colors, but we can make suggestions. This house used to be all this brown color. Well, you see the part that has not been painted yet. And we suggested that she paint her softest white. And with a semi-gloss paint, we used kind of a eggshell paint on the walls. So she was much happier to have it done that way. She really liked how it came out. That's the same house. It's kind of chopped up, but came out looking nice. We also replaced quite a bit of wood on this house. On the chimney over here, we replaced all this wood all the way down here on both sides of the chimney, quite a bit of it over in here. It was all rotted. They were having a hard time finding somebody who could repair that, so I said, no problem, we'll take care of it. Gave us another opportunity to use power tools. This is another repair we did. This lady wanted me to repair the spindle. The spindle had rotted off, and it was all rotted down here. There was nothing left of it. It was just hanging there. and the wood underneath here had rotted out too. Well, I took the spindle to several stores, tried to find another one, and could not find another one like that. So I took it to the house, put it on the table saw, and did some fancy woodwork to it. We got a piece of treated wood, cut it the same size, routed it out, put steel plates in it, put some screws in there, and covered it with this automotive body filler we call Bondo. It's a plastic filler. You cover the thing with both sides of it, sand it down, and all of a sudden, bing, so we didn't have to replace the thing, we repaired it, but you can't tell it's been repaired. And after that, we painted it so it looks a whole lot better. But this shows the smooth surface, so we had to, of course, if you're going to use a plastic filler on that, you have to use oil-based primer on it, because the latex-based primers won't stick to plastic. In about 6 months, it would all fall off. So we used oil-based primer and put several coats of latex top coat over it, and now you can't tell it was never a problem. Also, the wood below it had rotted out, and just kind of cupped it out. We put some screws in there, filled that in with plastic filler, sanded it down, and did the same procedure. So it all looks good, and it'll last for several years like that. Now, this is another house that we did recently. George, you might recognize this house. It's on your street.
Yeah, I believe.
But this is one where we had to replace a lot of rotten wood. And it took us quite a long time to paint it, because every time we painted the round trim, she'd say, no, not like that, I want a different color. So 4 times later, we finally got it right. This was a ceiling on the wall. We painted it white, and I think it gave it a good look. It brightened it up underneath there with all the dark colors. But some of the other ceilings that we do, this is a house we're working on. We're going to be finishing this one today. I don't know if you can see that with the picture up here, but we painted the ceiling a light blue. It was the same color as the house. The house was very similar to what it is now. Before, we suggested a light blue because it matches the sky. And also another thing about a real light blue ceiling like that, if you have a lot of problems with spiders up on your wall, the light blue ceiling takes off the spiders. They think it's the sky, and they won't grow the webs there.
That's cool.
This ceiling was replaced before we got there, and it was a cement board product. So she wanted us to paint it. We had to put 2 coats of primer on it, and I think we put 2 or 3 top coats on top of that. Sometimes it takes a little bit more effort, but it really looks good when you finish it. There's Anthony. He's a purveyor of all things rock and roll. And this was a cabin that was in Townsend. We had to go stay in this cabin. There were quite a few areas on it that had some wear and tear. We had to get up here and stain this part on both sides, stain all the railings. This is it's a stain, it's a oil-based stain called Sickens. And Sickens is a very expensive, but very good stain, and you have to put it on it a certain way. You get Sickens #1 and Sickens 2, 3. #1 is the sealer with the color to it. You have to put that on first, and then after that dries, 24 hours later, you put on 2 coats of the Sickens 2, 3. So it's the 1, 2, 3 process. The stuff is very pricey, and paint prices are going crazy. Just 5 or 6 years ago, this stuff was $25 a gallon. Now it's $74 a gallon by price. It's crazy. But anyway, it does a real nice job. I've never seen anything that seals up better than that. That's probably why they can keep raising the prices of these other stuff. But a lot of the cabins in Sevierville and Townsend are coming with the Sickens products. This lady had a lot of wood out there that just hadn't been treated in a long time, and this will protect it for many years to come. But anyway, sounds like I'm out of time. If you have any questions. This is a ceiling repair. This is Jenny Mason's house. Jenny had a problem with the ceiling where the ceiling had to be cut out. You can see that little different area right there. The ceiling was cut out, and somebody put a patch in it. It didn't match very well. It was a top-floor ceiling, and they had matched it just the best way they could. But we ended up sanding that area down, remudding it, and had to get a the air gun that actually shoots those little popcorn beads up there. We shot the popcorn up there, and you can see this a little bit different right now because it wasn't painted yet. But after it was painted, there was no way you could tell there was ever a problem there. So it's all taken care of. Everything's good now. That's the show.